people on the tube, boys, what's up? It's Dom here, ready for another patch notes. Gonna go ahead and get this out now. Again, I haven't been able to stream because I've been working nonstop on getting the house packed and ready to go. So these videos may not be coming out the day of, and I will try to get them out whenever I can. However, next week when I officially move into my new apartment, I may not have Wi-Fi for the first couple days, so I do apologize. So I will be delayed on a little bit of YouTube content, so you may or may not get your Monday patch notes vid. And if so, I apologize. I will get those out as soon as possible. But here we go. We're going to go through this, and then I'll talk about other shit later. So, first things first, my main man Minto posted in here about the Italian heavy tank balance statistics, right? So, the Tier 7, the Caro, has the third best win rate out of 12 tanks and the average and number 1 out of average damage of 12 tanks. The Tier 8 Progetto CC55 has number 1 out of win rate, number 1 out of average damage out of 14. Tier 9 Progetto C50 has is the number 1 out of 16 Tier 9 heavies, and the number 1 out of 16 Tier 9 heavies for both win rate and average damage. And for the Tier 10 Rinoceronte, owned by 282 players currently, it is number 3 out of 20 Tier 10 heavies, and number 1 for damage out of Tier 10 heavies. I'm going to be completely honest here, boys. These stats are lying to you. Okay, and let me explain why. Let me explain why these stats are lying to you. Okay, you want to know who are the people that are rushing these lines, who already have up to the Tier 10? The people who 3-mark all their tanks on the regular. Uni players, super uni players, players who 3-mark for fun, right? Shit like that. These tanks are being played by those players right now. And they are doing so well that they are overpowering the stats. I guarantee you, once all of their 3-marks are done, by the end of the first, second month, I guarantee you these stats tank. These numbers tank infinitely. 100%. And by the way, I want to point out, these damage numbers are still atrocious. Like they're still bad. They're still bad. So, yeah. These numbers are lying to you. The best players right now are playing these tanks to 3-mark them. Don't think that this makes the Italian heavies good. They're still dog shit. And until they get the actual mechanic they deserve, they're gonna remain dog shit. And you cannot change my mind. Now, the tanks reforged, the K91. Now, they're only checking it 3 days after data. I don't like that. That's an immediate change. That's not enough time for data. Take a look at a month afterwards. That means people who just bought the tank, people who bought it back, or people that have had it and have took it out again, right? So, the daily battles went from 422 to 1394. The win rate went up by roughly around 3%, a little bit over. The survival rate went up by about 3%. And the average damage went up by roughly around 400. The K91 needed the buff. Wholeheartedly, definitely needed the buff. And in my opinion, I would like to see more numbers in about 30 days to see how they change. Because I don't like 3 days of data. That's not enough data. Wholeheartedly, that is not enough data to actually show whether or not the tank is good or not. Because same with the Italian heavies that I was talking to you about, I guarantee you that a lot of the players that are playing the K91 and the T22 medium are the players that are incredibly good, seeing if they're worth actually keeping still after the buffs. So heavily doubt that they're like Omega busted, but these two tanks definitely needed the buffs, right? And I'm very, very thankful that the K91 and the T22 got the buffs. So not mad about it. Getting to see slight number changes in the K91, great. I hope to see better stats in the 30 days, in the 30-day reveal. The T22 medium, total battles 111 before, now it's up to 347. The win rate went up by roughly about 5.5%. So that's not bad at all. The survival rate went up by over 6%, which is phenomenal. And the damage before and after is roughly about 600. There's about 600 bonus damage, so that's nice. That's nice to see the T-22 actually get a little bit of love and see the K-91 get some love. So I'm happy about that. So this week, quality of life, multi-base assault frequency reduced to 5% in random battles. In random battles, balance changes for the following maps will be Mountain Pass, Kasserine, Pilsen, and Highway. In my opinion, Mountain Pass is whatever. It's a standard map. You either hate it or you love it. You don't really have like a meh kind of reaction to it. Kasserine, I think most people are still okay with Kasserine, though multi-base assault for Kasserine is a little bit garbage. Pilsen, that's just a trash tier map, man. Like, you cannot change my mind. That is just a trash tier map. The spawns are just not good. Unless they are directly across from each other on the 5-6 line, it's garbage. You have to have it smack dab in the middle on both the north side and the south side. You can't do the east-west bullshit. It's got to be north-south. Otherwise, it's just an unfair game. Highway is highway. People are going to snipe. People are going to sit back, do whatever. I don't like highway NBA, but whatever. I'm glad to see that they've been reduced by had that multi-base assault has been reduced to 5% in random battles. That's really nice. So, the Commander filter now has nation affiliation filters to support cross-mode transfers, filters saved after exiting the Commander tab. That's nice. It's kind of like how you do for how you would filter your garage for tanks. So, nice little touch on that. Custom game select tank option now functions as a spectator. Interesting. That is very, very interesting, and I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see in the future. Gifts received will now show in the logs. Thank you fucking God. We've been asking for you to fix that shit for months now. Missiles made the red dot less bright on the map Fredvong. The map's dark as shit. Keep it bright as fuck. The Object 257 is now researched correctly in certain cases. How the fuck do you manage to fuck that up? Vineyard now plays loading music. Okay, you just gonna play that hillbilly highway music? Don't think it deserves that kind of disrespect. The KV4 KTTS is now available in the premium tech tree. That's whatever. Tank Commander PvP is back, and you can earn the Thunderbolt. I believe we went over that the other day, and I am super, super hyped because I will be playing that whenever I get a chance, even if on or off stream, based on my moving schedule as of the current moment. But I love PvP. I love the Tank Commander PvP. I think it's super fun, and I think more people need to play it. Even if you don't play it for the Thunderbolt, it's really easy to make money. Like, actually, low-key, it's really easy to make money in that game mode. So, the Tankathon challenge to earn silver and consumables is back. So, we're going to go ahead and take a look at it here. The Tankathons started. Earn your medals, silver, and premium consumables. So, earn a ton of premium consumables and silver with the Tankathon challenge. You can complete this chained challenge in multiplayer battles only with your World War II and Cold War tanks. In addition to all the good stuff you're scoring on your way to the top, completing the final stage would give you a prize that's worthy of a top spot on the podium, the Tankathon medal. So, here's what you're going to need to do. In step 1, you're going to need to detect 5 or more vehicles in any number of battles. Step 2, you're going to need to deal 5,000 or more damage in a number of winning battles. Step 3 is place in the top 5 XP earners on your team in a winning battle. Step 4 is assist with 10,000 or more damage due to you spotting vehicles and in a number of battles. Number 5 is destroy 25 or more vehicles and in a number of winning battles. And that's it. And then you get a decent chunk of goodies here. You get roughly about, looks to me about $500,000 worth of silver, but you get way more than just that, because you also get all the consumables, and then you get obviously the medal. So not bad overall. We've already gone through this previously, I believe. No, we have, because we went over this deal. So just as a reminder, so super fun event. If you're trying to just get some free shit, just play the game. You'll be fine. This week was the highest weekday playtime of the year. I heavily fucking doubt that. I saw your numbers last night at like peak performance time Wargaming. You had 7,000 players logged in. on a Thursday night at 7 p.m. EST, you had 7,000 people. Stop lying. Next week, a handful of minor quality of life fixes to UI tanks, etc. Nice to see. Now, here we're getting into the juiciness of the situation. New Cold War light tank supported by the Light Tank Boot Camp Challenge. Make sure to elite your M46A1 and M60A1 as those lines lead into the new U.S. Cold War light tanks. These are going to include the M8 AGS, the Stingray 2, the Stingray, the M551 Sheridan, the T92, the M41 Walker Bulldog, the M24 Chaffee, the M30A2 Bradley, the M60A2 Patton, and the M113. Bounty Hunter for this is going to be the Big Top Mercenary Tank and the Lost Renegade Commander, which will be available from July 27th through September 13th. So we're actually going to go ahead and take a look at those right now. So this is how it's going to be looking, right? This is how it's going to be looking for you guys. So you're going to have the Chaffee and the Walker Bulldog in Era 1. Then you'll have the T92, the Sheridan, and the Stingray all in Era 2. And then in Era 3, you'll have the Stingray 2, the M8 AGS, and the M3A2 Bradley as the highest tier. So if you exclude the tank destroyer that they have, the M113, which deadass looks like it. How would I describe this? It looks like a to-go box. It really do be looking like a to-go box. It's a fucking square. And then the M682 is just, it looks like a Concept 1B turret put on an M60 chassis. It's really weird. But basically, we're just going to go quickly over these. So, the M24 Chaffee will be going into the M40, will be unlocked from the M46A1 Patton, and will give access to the M4A1 Walker Bulldog. The Bulldog will be unlocked through the Chaffee, and will give access to the T92 and the M113. The T92 will be unlocked through the M4A1 Bulldog, and it will give access to the Sheridan. The Sheridan, when unlocked by the T92 and the M113, will give access to the Stingray. This is your first introduction to ATGMs with the U.S. light tanks. And you bet your sweet ass I will be grinding this line. I must own all lights. Therefore, I must grind. And for those of you that were wondering, yes, it has the 152 millimeter gun on it. You're welcome. That thing's going to hit like a fucking truck. It's going to be awesome. The Stingray is going to be unlocked with the Sheridan and will give access to the Stingray 2. The M113 here is the first tank destroyer in Cold War, and it gives access to the M551 Sheridan. So you can actually gain access to the Sheridan through going through the tank destroyer instead. But deadass, tell me this does not look like a fucking to-go box. It is a fucking square. That is depressing as all hell. The M6A2 is very, very awkward looking, but it is unlocked with the M60A1. It shoots ATGMs, and it will give you access to the M1 Abrams. So, think of it that way. It's another way if you want to go to that. The Stingray 2 will be unlocked through the Stingray and will give access to both the M8 AGS and the M3A2 Bradley. The M8 AGS will be unlocked through the Stingray 2. This will be the top of one of the lines. It does not unlock any additional tanks. And the M3A2 Bradley is the other one of the light tank line that you can get at the top tier. So it'll shoot ATGMs and it will be unlocked through the Stingray 2. So keep that in mind. So you're actually going to get 2 tier 10 light tanks, or 2 top tier Era 3 light tanks. You're going to get the M3A2 Bradley, and you're going to get the M8 AGS. So for those of you that have been wanting some light tanks, there you go. Now the M8 AGS does not get ATGMs, but the Bradley does. So if you want the ATGMs, go for the Bradley. But I believe if you want a little bit faster fire rate, go for the AGS. It's kind of a mixed bag there. It's kind of your pick. It also carries more ammo than the M2. So there you go. But that'll be it for that. So I'm super hyped to play it. I really want to try it. The only problem I have is I'm about to be a broke ass bitch when I play through these, because dear God Almighty, I'm never going to be able to pay for these costs. So, But overall, super excited. It's interesting to see that they added a tank destroyer in the light tank line in the 113. Don't know how I feel about that. Think, in my opinion, that probably deserved its own line, but maybe there's not enough tanks. You guys let me know in the comments below. The M60A2, I mean, they're just adding it just so you guys have more options, because let's be real. The Era 2 M60s suck ass. So I feel so bad for y'all. That thing looks, by the way, that thing is ugly as shit. So, but moving on from that, again, the Bounty Hunter Big Top Mercenary Tank and Lost Renegade Commander will be available through July 27th to September 13th. Then, work in progress talked about, no ETA unless stated. Contract system is being worked on. Good to know. Multi-turret and controls. Pangon mentioned the difficulty in mapping controls for this. I don't quite understand what this means, so I think I'll have to go back and watch the stream before I say anything on that. Tech tree improvements. Please, for the love of God, make it less fucking ugly and annoying as shit to go through. Class-based matchmaker adjustments. Thank you. Been asking for that for a while now, guys. So, hopefully they'll actually set it up well. Still think they should put in +1, -1 low-key. Players can at least expect 3 new maps for each major update. The next maps included are, we will get at least 3 of these. So out of this list of 4, there will be a minimum of 3. Dukla Pass, Heilbronn, Redshire, and Mjotovanka. I tweeted about this earlier today, but I'm a little bit more excited for Mjotovanka and Redshire. They're big, nice, open maps, so I get to run around with a light tank. Heilbronn, I don't know. I never really did well on Heilbronn, but that's also because I only played it when I was a newer player, and then it got removed for updating. And this was like a year and a half ago, so haven't seen it in a while. And then Dukla Pass is Dukla Pass. Nothing uber special, nothing garbage. It's just one of those middle of the road maps where, like, I don't hate it, I don't love it. It's just kind of there, but I'm happy to see that they're working on more maps. So that's really, really nice to see. Would you like to see patch kits in World War II? We would only do this when an overwhelming majority of players support. Yeah, the player base said no. Fuck patch kits in World War II. +1, -1 matchmaking is being approved to be run over weekends. This means we'll see more +1, -1 over the weekends. Yes! Let's go, baby! That I'm hyped for. Thank you. That's beautiful. That's amazing. Good job. The next Patriot tank features will be released in the following order: multi-turret tanks, wheeled tanks, and the double-barreled tanks. So I don't know anything about the multi-turreted tanks, but the wheeled tanks will include both the French wheeled lights and the British wheeled lights, and then the double-barreled are the infamous Russian double-barrels. So, medals are coming to Cold War. What kind of medals do you want to see? Honestly, in my opinion, I think that you should just make slightly different versions of the current medals that are in World War II. We all know them. We all love them. We all love seeing how many fucking medals we can rack up in a single fucking game. Just import them. Yeah, they're Cold War, but just because the medals, half the medals are named after heroes, doesn't mean they stop being hero medals. Just give us the same medals. And maybe add a couple extra. I don't know. Like, I don't really have anything for that. Just make some shit up. Bring in the old medals that we've got from World War II and add them with, like, slightly less shit. I don't know. Like, just copy, paste, and mix and match. I mean, I'm not really too pressed about it. I don't really give a shit whether medals are in Cold War or not, because I don't really play it as much, though I will be playing it a lot with the new light tanks. But my point stands. Medals are, I love to see medals on my screen, but I'm not too pressed about not having any medals in Cold War. So, what are your guys' thoughts? And then the 4th mark of excellence was briefly talked about. Yeah, that shit is bugged as fuck. Yeah, I've had several people message that they've got 100% on their tanks and they haven't received their gold marks. So, yeah, they're going to need to fix that. Because I've had several people in my Discord message in my chat be like, hey, I got 100% on my mark, on my damage standing. I don't have a mark. So, yeah. Can I get that shit, please? So, hopefully Wargaming will see that and fix that. The optimal word being hopefully. Right. After that, there will be a Twitch stream Monday the 26th with Minto, which would be the U.S. Cold War light tank preview, and a special A-Up inscription giveaway. And on July 30th, which is Friday, community update with Pain God, and there will be a new tank first look. So, interesting, very, very interesting. So, overall, not too bad of a patch notes day. A little bit interesting, a lot of info, a lot of new shit. Honestly, in my opinion, I love everything that's here. For the most part, I think everything that's here is nice. Lots of updates, lots of bug fixes. The only thing I don't like is this. Because Wargaming's going to be like, we should nerf it. Don't fucking nerf it. Don't nerf the Italian heavies. Please, for the love of God, they're already fucking atrocious. If anything, you don't even need to buff them. Just give them their intended mechanic. You give them their intended mechanic, let the community say the rest. Do we got to deal Wargaming? But, anywho, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much. And what let me see, what would today's question of the day be? You know what? Here's today's question of the day. If you were to see medals in Cold War, what do you want to see? Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. After you finish watching the video, let me know how you guys are doing. And how much you miss me doing these videos / wish that you could see me stream, because your boy is too fucking busy. So, which reminds me, I do need to touch up on that real quick. So, I go in to sign my apartment lease on Monday. Hopefully I go to move in on the same day. I will hopefully have internet, hopefully, keyword hopefully, by Wednesday or Thursday, though it may be longer, so I don't know. I will have to update you guys, and if what I can do is I can at least record YouTube videos through this shit like that. But after that, and I'll be able to upload it like a public spot. But after that, I won't be able to do much. So, but yeah. So that's going to be it for me for right now. And again, question of the day, if you were to see any medals from World War II be put into Cold War, what medals do you want to see? Personally, I like seeing a good old Radley Walters every now and then. Kind of dope. So, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And as always, good hunting. I'll catch you guys next time.